Immediately following his impeachment acquittal, former squatter Donald Trump issued a statement saying his movement has only just begun. He is right about one thing, though: something has only just begun, but it's not another chapter of the conspiracies and lies to which Trump clings. The movement that just got kicked into high gear is an era of accountability. Some are grading the outcome of the impeachment trial with dismay, and as three people who have spent the last 4 years fighting Trumpism in courts of law and in the court of public opinion, we might be expected to be among them, but far from it. We see the trial as a positive fist fight, or first step. I mean, sorry. We see the trial as a positive first step in what we predict will be a far-reaching campaign to secure criminal, civil, and regulatory accountability against Trump and his enablers for their undeniable misconduct over the last 4 years. There is an urgent window for government and private parties to pursue accountability through investigations and the prosecutions and litigation. The magnificent work of the House impeachment managers established a roadmap, and they revealed a startling pattern of intentional misconduct by Trump in inciting an insurrection, and they backed up each of their contentions with a mountain of evidence, some of which was not previously available to the public. And while the U.S. Senate did not ultimately convict, the courageous votes of 7 Republicans to hold Trump accountable shows the bipartisan opportunity for the road ahead. Even Senate Minority Leader Moscow Mitch, who has given Trump much cover and did the same again by voting against conviction here, said that Trump was still liable to be tried and punished in the ordinary tribunals of justice, but Trump is still liable for everything he did while he was in office. He just didn't get away with anything yet. Moscow Mitch spent 4 years trying to play Trump's card to his advantage, and now he is coming down hard, seemingly telegraphing for those he leads and what should come next. Like him or not, he is a formidable figure, and we should take his signal or perhaps his prediction seriously. But what might the accountability look like? And thanks to Trump's outrageous behavior in the waning days of his reign, he has exposed himself to a possible state criminal prosecution in Georgia. Fani Willis, the district attorney for Fulton County, has announced her intent to investigate the ex-squatter in his shocking call to the Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger on January 2nd, and the call may well violate state law, including a statute prohibiting the solicitation of election fraud. According to the New York Times, her investigation is a broad one, looking at other offenses by Trump and by those around him, such as his lawyer Rudy Colludi, who is alleged to have provided false information to Georgia officials. Colludi did not respond to the Times' request for comment. And meanwhile, a Trump advisor has said the investigation is simply the Democrats' latest attempt to score political points by continuing a witch hunt against a former squatter, and everybody sees through it. Yeah, we see through Trump's bullshit. So yeah, we know. Other jurisdictions might also have criminal cases against Trump for his post-election day misconduct, including his alleged incitement of an insurrection. Prosecutors have already charged hundreds of people involved in the insurrection with federal crimes, including conspiracy, and we know the insurrectionists came from many states and planned in advance. If Trump was a part of any conspiracy, he could face criminal or civil liability in multiple places. And there are laws against insurrection, sedition, racketeering, and related misconduct, and they should, and likely will, get a closer fucking look. In addition, there may well be a civil action on behalf of those who were killed and injured during the events of January 6th, among them the Capitol Police officers and other law enforcement. Members of Congress and staff who were traumatized or otherwise harmed may also have civil claims, such as for intentional infliction of emotional distress, and we can expect that civil litigation to go on for years. Given the powerful and disturbing footage that has now been seen by virtually every American, the insurrection is something deeply concerning to the American people that's far beyond the walls of Congress, and judges and juries take these cases seriously. Yet another category of accountability for the big lie perpetuated by Trump and his allies, and regulatory actions like bar complaints against attorneys who allegedly enabled Trump's misconduct. One complaint has already been filed in New York against Colludi. Colludi's public reactions to the complaint suggest he is at least somewhat ruffled by the action. I don't want to get in trouble, and I have a high sense of ethics personally. Yeah, bullshit. I hate it when people, basically Colludi says, I hate it when people attack my integrity. Yeah, what fucking integrity? Meanwhile, officials in Michigan are seeking disbarment of Sidney Powell and her cohort, and the Georgia bar has opened an investigation of Lin Wood. Wood has taken umbrage with the effort, asking sycophants to donate money to fight it, telling them that the Georgia bar authorities have through the kitchen sink on me, and calling on his sycophants to dig for damaging information against members of the Georgia State Bar. This is dis, 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 disciplinary board. Paul has not commented on the allegation against her. Organizations that helped sponsor the January 6th Klan rally and foment the insurrection also face calls for investigation, including under state laws that regulate charitable entities, and these avenues are slower and may be seen as less hard-hitting, but it does not change their significant contribution to the accountability effort. If there is no consequences for misconduct, then what is there to prevent such behavior from happening again and again and again? The Trump era has taught us that pursuing justice for a president and ex-squatter who do wrong, and the individuals and groups who enable them is not self-executing. The rule of law only works if it is activated. Now come state and federal prosecutors and civil plaintiffs, who must move quickly to hold Trump and his associates and fellow and sycophants responsible for the insurrection and much that presided over it the past 4 years. While the hill might feel steep and the climb slow, the justice system is not always known for its swiftness. There is a solution. Civil society organizations like ours and many hundreds of others can and will only work to drive accountability forward. The law is propelled by argument and evidence, and those of us in the civil society must support prosecutors and plaintiffs by putting our shoulders to the effort of developing and publicizing the analysis of these legal matters, and this can help explain accountability measures to the public and even inform the internal decision-making progress of the accountability agencies. It can show them that a path is responsible and how to pursue it. But whether considered a legal fire starter or an emotional support system, then civil society does its job. Our movement does, in fact, move justice forward, and will achieving all, or even some of this accountability be easy? Of course not. The impeachment and trial prove that. But the fact that the majority of the public and the Senate agreed in a bipartisan fashion on Trump's liability offers hope and motivation. The voluminous record that the managers established lays out a detailed roadmap to get us here, as does the work of so many dedicated state and local officials over the past 4 years. And we should, as a nation, drive down those paths with the deliberate speed, knowing that we were all in this fucking thing together.